headed to see Dr. Khan.
Are you scared? You nervous?
I just don't, like, I don't care about the injections in my knee, both knees. They take the stem cells from your bone marrow, which is in my hips. So, sorry, just one hip, I don't know. I really don't know. But we're going an hour early so I could take some oral painkillers or sedatives, whatever, how do you say it?
To make you numb?
Yeah. So I just don't know what to expect, you know. Like, I've had injections in my knee before. I've had PRP done in my knee before, and yeah.
In your chest?
Yeah, in my chest. Yeah. But the PRP in my knee didn't work because that was ligament, and I ended up doing surgery. So a little history on my knee. When I was 16 years old, I was playing competitive hockey and I blew my ACL, and I spent a summer in a wheelchair after them totally reconstructive surgery of my knee, and they took a little part of my hamstring to replace that ACL. And then my knee's been good for years, and then in 2018 I had kind of aggravated it by, on a hack squat, going down too quickly, and my knees were really pumped, quads were really pumped, and the pressure just bruised my femur, and I had a cyst in my femur. And then it was a month and a half out from a show from Canadian Nationals, October of 2018, and then after I got the PRP shots, didn't work, and I told the doctor, I said, look, I want to do the surgery. Like, my knee is not getting better, it's actually getting weaker in a sense, because certain things started to take over to help with walking, and it just felt like crap. So we did the surgery, and it took a long time to get better with training and stuff, and finally the only thing that ended up really helping it was acupuncture, getting the quad to fire. As soon as the quad started firing, the knee got stronger. So it was a pretty wild time, just because the knee felt like crap for so long after the surgery, and as soon as the muscles started firing, the knee got stronger. Yeah, but then now we're post-show, 5 weeks post-show, and the last, couple weeks, it hasn't been feeling that great. In a sense, maybe just because the added food and inflammation in my body after the show, because when you're getting prepping for a show, there's a lot less inflammation in the body because of how lean you are, etc. And then post-show, you start adding a lot more food, and there's a lot more pressure on joints and ligaments. So that's what I found anyways, personally. Dr. Khan, as of a month and a half ago, put out how he's the first doctor in Canada to be approved of stem cell injections. I believe it's a trial run they said they were doing. So anyways, I had reached out and I said, hey, let's get an MRI done on my knee because I want to see where it's at. He knows the history of what I've done to my knee and stuff, but I said, I'd love to do the stem cell injections. So we did the MRI, and I had a grade 2 to 4 chondromalacia. So it's on the verge of, in however long, who knows, but I will have arthritis in that knee one day. But with stem cell and all the, what it does with rejuvenating ligaments and tissue and stuff, that's what we're going to do today, and hopefully get some more years out of my knees.
Have a general consent form. It's there for you to take for the pain, so you're going to take it before, all three together.
Okay.
We're trying to time it to be 30 minutes before your treatment. So I'm going to say maybe not for...
Oh, there he is.
I want you to be comfortable.
I'm just going to say maybe set a timer for another 20 minutes.
Okay.
Or even I'll set a timer for 20 minutes,
Okay.
and then we'll see where we're at, and then I'll tell you when to take it.
Okay. I didn't finish my intro. That grapefruit's still going.
Timer's on.
Nice knowing you.
All right, guys. So, as you know, Cody has cartilage problems in his knee. What that means is the cushion in his knee is wearing out. The cartilage is really important to protect the joint, and as it wears out over time, you get more wear and tear, and that wear and tear releases what's called inflammatory signals, and those inflammatory signals cause pain and then leads to more degradation of the cartilage over time. So with all that in mind, what we want to do is we want to reduce that inflammation and regenerate some cartilage. So the way we do that is we use something called stem cells. Now, when you think about stem cells, a lot of people think about babies or they think about regenerating new tissue. Now, there are true stem cells, but we're not using true stem cells because you have to reprogram them into an undifferentiated state. What we're doing is we're taking bone marrow stem cells, which means they have the ability to turn into different types of tissue, but the main effect they have is anti-inflammatory. So we're going to reduce the inflammation by harvesting his bone marrow stem cells, and it's also going to regenerate a little bit of the cartilage. And this has only become available in Canada in the last few months. Myself and one other doctor were the only doctors allowed to do it under Health Canada approval. So if anyone else is doing it, they're doing it illegally. So don't go to those shady clinics. And there are a few of them out there. So you have to be under Health Canada approval, and it is regulated now in Canada. So at least we can offer it now to people so you don't have to travel to States or Mexico or Colombia or whatever. And then we're looking at doing what's culture and expanded stem cells too, where we grow them in a lab. So that's going to be our next study. So we're really going to keep pushing this. So this should work for several years, but eventually it may wear off. And then the next time what we would do is we would do the culture and expanded, where we actually take your stem cells and we grow them for 4 weeks, and then we inject them back in. And then that's true regeneration, and that's something that could be potentially even a cure. So that's kind of where we're headed. I'm actually doing that in Italy and Dubai. I'll be in Dubai in the winter. In Italy, I'm treating a lot of NHL, NBA, and NFL guys, and some other high-profile athletes, and we're going to be doing those culture expanded stem cells.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, doing this procedure and then after, for like maintenance-wise or anything, like, is there anything beyond by just otherwise just letting it do its thing? But like, is there anything that you can kind of help with keeping it as healthy as possible?
It's off-label with peptides. You know, there's no, there's unfortunately no clinical human trials, but I can say based on anecdotal evidence and a lot of my pro guys, I have seen peptides accelerate the regenerative process, and it makes sense from a mechanistic point of view as well. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about peptides, but the big ones are BPC 157, TB 400. There's one called ARA 290, and then there's one called cerebral lysin, which is more for nerve regeneration. But basically, you know, a concoction of those can definitely facilitate regeneration.
Yeah.
And then probably also like CJC and APPAREL, which are like growth hormone releasing hormone peptides. So they again can increase regeneration and help with recovery and everything.
Cool.
So I think those would be the main things, and then honestly just reducing inflammation through diet, nutrition, stress, all the stuff people probably already know, but optimizing that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
We'll see how hard your bone is. I'm sure it's pretty hard, but Tony.
So right now,
Does it?
You nervous, Cody?
I just don't know what to expect, you know? Like, the knee injections I'm fine, totally fine with, but with the hip, I have no idea. This is like...
We're going to use a lot of breathing, don't worry.
Okay.
And we'll try to make it as comfortable as we can.
The medication still hasn't kicked in.
So, yeah, I was going to say the story. So, Tony, so Dr. Gallia, who's the one who started regenerative medicine in the world pretty much, he had a patient one time, his like first case, so there was like 4 orthopedic surgeons watching, and he was treating the world champion powerlifter at the time.
Who?
I think it was it Brian Shaw?
That sounds about right, yeah.
I think it was him. So basically, his bone was so hard, because he's a powerlifter, and he couldn't get into the bone, so he had to start hammering in it. I'm sure that's what you want to hear, but hopefully your bone's not that hard.
That's messed up.
I'm sure that's relaxing you. But yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be fine. But the point is, if your bone is very like rock hard, it can be a little bit difficult to get in there. So we'll see how hard his bone is.
What makes the bone that hard? Like, other than like...
heavy squats and heavy deadlifts, right? This causes bone density to increase.
Makes sense.
Resistance training in general, like the best treatment for osteoporosis, which is low bone density, is resistance exercise, which is what most people don't do enough of, right? Especially progressive resistance exercise, meaning getting stronger over time. And Cody, obviously, because he's a bodybuilder, he's going to have strong bone, but I don't think he'll have a strong bone as someone who's a powerlifter, which, you know, it's not necessarily a good thing to have strong bone. It's just, you just don't want osteoporosis, right? And that if you do resistance training, you're not going to get osteoporosis. What do you guys have though?
That's sodium
Is there xylo?
So that's the bone we're going to go by. I'm going to measure this distance, and he's going to drive his needle right through it.
And because Cody's so lean, there's not a lot of tissue to go through, so it'll actually be easier. Like the last guy I had was 300 pounds, and it was not possible because he was just too big.
I need you to see you feel abuse.
There's going to be some freezing here, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and boom. It's like a little sting. Can burn a bit here. Yeah. I inject about 5 first, and then I'll use an 18 gauge, and then inject another 5.
Whoa.
Sorry, stings a bit?
No, I just felt it come out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this.
What is that?
This is our tool that we're going to go into the bone with.
That's scary.
And
That was a cool tool.
yeah. So instead of using a drill, we just do it manually because it's gentler, and plus you can control kind of the pressure and everything. All right, let me know how you do, okay, Cody?
Okay.
Just find some people with the skins. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you feel much?
Nope.
You're just anticipating it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I just want to get it anchored first, and then we'll switch. It's like a workout.
Can you feel anything?
So, you're in the right place. We can treat your elbow later.
It's more my wrist.
Oh, we can do that too.
Okay, it's anchored a bit now, so
There you go.
I'm gonna switch. This is why I have resident doctors with me.
See?
It's a lot more tiring than it looks. It's like you really have. So my arm is actually tired, so I have her here. Try to keep it like as straight as possible, and just apply downward pressure as you go. Yeah. Starting to feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it means because we're in the cortex now. That's good. You're getting good depth. Yeah. Alright, just go to this line, and then we should be good.
Which one? This one?
This line. Right, this one.
Oh,
We're almost there. Okay.
right there.
Perfect. Now you can screw it down. Like I remember. Yeah. This part. Yeah. Exactly.
You okay, buddy?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
We should be deep enough.
Any further?
Right there. Yeah. Just in contact with the skin, and then you can twist it.
Now what are you guys doing? Retracting the bone marrow?
Yep. Now we're gonna try a tap, and we'll see what we get. So, this one have to sit right in it?
Yes.
I can just imagine.
This one.
Crazy shit I've
Yes.
ever seen.
The other side.
Glad I can't see it.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if we struck gold. Good. There you go. Red gold.
That's good.
Yep, that's exactly what we want. And there's like no air bubbles, so that means we're pretty deep in, which is
Just as long as you get enough.
exactly.
How much do you need?
We need about 6 to 7 cc's for each knee.
All right, I'll give you that much.
I already got like 10, so we're good.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
And you can do it with that one if you.
Just put 10 in each.
More isn't always better. That's such
Okay.
a bodybuilder mindset.
Okay.
More will just cause you more discomfort, and then you can
Okay.
and then you can twist as you go.
When I'm on the Olympia stage next year, it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Cody did great.
You good?
How was it?
A little bit, and then
It wasn't like, it's just the unknown. It's more like, you're you're drilling into something that's like, I've had many surgeries, I've had many shots, you know, I've had stitches like done without freezing, but this is like just the, you know,
Different, right?
different. But obviously, like, you know, you've worked on me a few times before, so I mean, that was very smooth.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean,
No.
hopefully it wasn't excruciating or
No, it
anything. Like, I
wasn't.
know it's uncomfortable, but
Yeah, just uncomfortable. It wasn't
Yeah.
excruciating or anything. No, there's certain times where you're like, but like, I mean,
yeah, short-term
Yeah.
pain for long-term gain. But now we got your good stuff, so we're gonna put it to use.
And is that only good for him, or can that be used for other people?
No, it's only good for him.
Only good for him.
There are ways to process it in a lab where you can do what's called cross-matching for MSCs, which are mesenchymal stem cells. But we don't have the facilities here. But so in Italy and Dubai, we're using donor stem cells. Because over there it takes 4 weeks to grow them. So a lot of people coming from out of town don't want to wait 4 weeks, right? So then we just use a healthy young donor. Those are called allogenic stem cells. And they're perfectly safe too, and they've been well studied. So yeah, this is his stem cells from his bone marrow. And this is what we're going to inject back into his knee. The cool thing about this kit is that we don't have to centrifuge or anything. It has everything we kind of need in there to stimulate regeneration and reduce inflammation.
that's pretty
We're
cool.
definitely not bodybuilders.
They did it on their own.
That could be the title for this.
First.
Yeah.
First IFBB Pro to get stem cell injections in Canada.
Well, stem cells are such a hot topic right now, right? Like everyone's looking into it.
Yeah, but everyone's going to other parts of the world to get it done.
Yeah. And the problem is there's no regulation in South America, so you can literally do whatever you want, and you just don't know what you're going to get. There's no quality control. So that's why I like Dubai and Italy at least, because there's regulation and there's Ministry of Health approval, all that stuff. And then here, eventually we'll get it, but Canada's always so behind. Don't hold your breath. Okay, nice window.
Big pocket.
First tap, so
Yeah.
I think it's
Okay, bend your knees up a little.
strong. Like it has less air bubbles, you know. This one has a bit more air bubbles in there.
Wow.
But you got plenty. You can see the needle going in too. 1, 2, 3, and poke.
Yeah, you're coming through. Yep.
Yeah, once you get that window, it's good. Yep. All right, good job.
Just a little prick at the further beginning.
Yeah.
But you know what you're doing. It's the you don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Calcium buildup.
Yeah.
Who's got the foot?
Support.
You have to do it towards.
Raymond's like, what did I sign up for? Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and boom.
Relax, relax, you're pushing. There you go.
Deep breath. Okay. All right, good job. Okay, all done.
Excellent.
Sweet. You did it.
There you go.
And
All right. Time to party.
probably a lot first for you guys today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unlike surgery, you're not going to be off for weeks or months. It's really just 2 weeks of relative rest. Relative rest is different from absolute rest where you're doing nothing. So we actually want him cycling and moving it after 48 hours. It's only 48 hours of absolute rest of doing nothing. And then after that, he's going to do cycling. And then as his pain decreases, he's going to slowly progress and load it in the gym. So the best way to know to progress is once your daily pain is less than 3 out of 10, then you can start loading it in the gym. And then usually you start at like 30% of 1 RM, and then you progress from there. And then it's a slow graded exercise program. And then, you know, within 6 to 12 weeks, you'll hopefully be back to like pretty much 100% strength, full squatting, doing everything normally. Yeah.
Whoa. Walking.
Yeah, walking. It's funny because my left knee's like the one that was like but my right knee where they injected, it's just kind of like a little weird.
And the hip?
No, the hip's fine. The hip's fine so far until the freezing comes out. But yeah, no, we're good. And there's no like, I don't feel anything. So they didn't freeze my knees. They just freezed my hip. And yeah, they did what they had to do. As you guys saw, it's pretty crazy. I haven't even seen it yet, but you guys will get to see the craziness. It felt weird back there, like tools and stuff screwing into my like bone, and then needles going in, and you know. But I've had my fair share of surgeries, and like I'll literally do anything sometimes just to get my body back right, because you know, I just, at the end of the day, out of all this, I just truly love working out, and I do want to do it as long as I can. So that's why I just try and jump on stuff as soon as I can to take care of my body, and you know, pay attention when things are off. You know, I get treatment like twice a week, like ever since I've started bodybuilding, just because. So yeah, I don't know, that was crazy though. That was crazy. Laura, what'd you think?
That was crazy.
Hey, I saw your face when I was and you were looking at it, and you're all like,
Oh my God.
yeah, and I could feel like there's things coming out of the back of my hip and stuff. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. The little like pinches here and there.
Yeah.
Probably the most weirdest thing was this needle on the right leg when they went in through here.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, but
Man,
hey,
did it.
hey, it's over with now. I'll be back to work tomorrow. Hopefully train legs in
Boom.
2 weeks or
Maybe-
something.
Yeah, something like
Go
that.
by feel.
Yeah.
Go by feel. Are you
Yeah.
driving?
Yeah, I can drive.
Do you want to drive?
I can drive if you
I
want.
don't care. I can drive.